In this video, I'm going to be reviewing Pilot's parallel calligraphy pens. I'll go over the specs, I will do a writing sample, and I'll tell you what I like and don't like about these pens coming up. Blake here with Blake's Broadcast. On this channel, I review fountain pens, paper, and ink, and as always, I put links in the show notes in the description below. And if you haven't already, please hit that subscribe button. It really helps out my channel. Alright, let's get on with the review. These are Pilot parallel pens. These are some of my favorite fountain pens for calligraphy. Now, they're not a traditional fountain pen because they have a unique nib, which I'll show in a minute. They come in 6 sizes. There is a 1.5, 2.4, 3.0, 3.8, 4.5, and 6.0 millimeters. And you'll notice that there are 2 with a white body where the other ones have gray bodies. That's because these are older ones. This is the original set, whereas the 3.0 and the 4.5 are newer. Now all of the new parallel pens will have this white body instead of the gray one, but the pen is called the Parallel, and I'm going to move these out of the way, use this big 6.0 millimeter one to show you. The pen is called the Parallel because it has these 2 parallel plates which make up the nib, and they have these sort of little cutouts in them. This is why it is called the Parallel. You'll also notice there's sort of like I would call it like a rollerball style feed there. And if we unscrew the tail here, it takes a standard Pilot cartridge. And it will fit a Con 40 converter. I haven't tried the other Pilot ones, but I suspect they would probably fit also. And interestingly, there are Pilot parallel cartridges, which are a little bit of a different ink than the standard Pilot fountain pen ink, but they are interchangeable. There's more colors. I think there are maybe 12 colors with the Pilot parallel cartridges. So lots of options there. In terms of the design, it is similar to a calligraphy style pen where it has a long tail, and on the edge of the tail there it says Pilot Parallel. There's sort of like an indentation there, and it's not obviously a super high-end pen. These cost $12, but it's one of the best calligraphy tools I've used. You won't get quite as crisp, as sharp of lines as with a traditional italic dip pen, but you get pretty close, and this is way easier to use. It's really one of the best tools out there, and you can see mine's a bit dirty because I've used this quite a lot. Now, I'll show the packaging here. It comes in this set where you get a black and a red cartridge, and if you look at the packaging, you can see it shows sort of the calligraphy, standard calligraphy italic mode, and then if you write on the edge of it, it writes more like a normal pen. So it's a very versatile tool, very affordable, and I've had these for a really long time. They last quite a long time. I think I've had this probably, these gray ones I've probably had for 6 or 7 years, and I use them a lot. If you look at any of my notebook reviews, I'm always using these for testing. They're really, really great. In terms of walking through the pen here, we have this kind of weird tab on the cap here. It is a screw cap, easy to take off, and then we kind of have this rounded angle at the top of the cap which comes into this, it's not a clip, but it's sort of like a roll stopper basically. And then interestingly, there is this little arrow with 2 arrows and a line, which just sort of, I guess, tells you that it's a threaded cap. And then grip section is clear, you can see that feed in there, and then it comes out to a point where it says the nib width, and it says Pilot on the other side. Oh, and it does say Japan on the back of the tail here. This pen does not post. It's too skinny at the back there. That would have been nice, I think, but no posting there. This one's empty, but it takes a standard Pilot fountain pen ink cartridge. Now, let's do some measurements. So looking here, with it capped, this is 17 centimeters exactly. Uncapped, looking at about 162 millimeters. So it's quite a long pen. They're really lightweight though. In terms of the grip section, it does taper slightly, so we'll go for the skinniest part here, 9.7, and at the back here, 10.3. So 5 millimeter taper, really not much. Because this pen is so light, it's really comfortable. So looking at 10.92, that's with a almost empty cartridge. And then uncapped as you would use it, 7.77 grams. So really a light pen. It's a plastic pen, doesn't feel high-end or anything like that, but it writes really nicely. let's get on to the writing sample. I'm going to be doing this writing sample on a Mitsubishi bank paper notebook. These notebooks are really good with fountain pens, even really wet ones like these Pilot parallel pens. So I'll start with the 6mm. And this pen, because it is so wide and so flat, I mean, you have to kind of get it on the paper straight. So like if you use a notebook or something that isn't flat, you're going to have a harder time getting this to write properly. This is just dumping ink. And then when you write on the side, let's see which one of these has the most ink in it. This is the 3.8mm here. Okay, so we'll do the writing sample with this guy. All right, we're gonna try fast writing. Not a pen for this. It's too difficult to keep the nib flat on the surface, and it starts kind of digging into the paper there, so not really suitable for that, but you can do some kind of italic writing. Not that I really know what I'm doing here, but no reverse writing on this because there is not really any reverse. Ooh, the X is hard. Nope, that's not right. So that's the Pilot parallel pen. Really enjoy writing with these. They are very wet, so you do need to be a little bit careful about the paper that you use. So even like Mitsubishi bank paper, this is one that is really good with these kind of pens, even though they really dump ink. Most papers will not handle these, so I would say Mitsubishi bank paper, Cosmo Air Light, Pass Speed Cream can handle these, but you really got to be picky with your paper. But it's really nice to write with. I really do enjoy these. What are my pros and cons for the Pilot parallel pen? Well, there's a lot to like here. They're $12, so very affordable, and they're one of the easiest to use italic calligraphy kind of pens out there. Much easier to use than a calligraphy dip pen. These are ready to go. You just pop the cartridge in and you're writing, and you get really nice results, very crisp results, not quite as crisp as with some traditional tools, but very, very good for how easy it is. This is one of the best tools, I think, for practicing italic out there and doing hand lettering. It's just very, very easy. It takes standard Pilot cartridges. It can also fit a Con 40 converter. Lightweight, comfortable, and they come in now 6 different sizes instead of the original 4. So there's a lot to choose from. You can go from 1.5mm all the way up to 6mm for really big projects. They're really nice. You can also write on the corner of the nib and it'll write more like a normal pen. In terms of cons, these put down a lot of ink. You're gonna need very good paper like Mitsubishi bank paper to handle the ink. Regular paper is not going to hold up to this, so you need to be careful with that. The other thing is the paper needs to be flat, so you need to have a flat surface, otherwise you're going to be digging into the paper. And there's a little bit of, practice as with any calligraphy nib just to get it completely flat on the paper so that you're not turning the nib and digging into the paper. But overall, I really like these. There really aren't a lot of cons, honestly. Do you guys have these pens? Do you like these pens? Let me know in the comment section below. If you like this video, please hit that like button. And if you want to see more fountain pen, paper, and ink videos, please hit that subscribe button. Thank you so much, and until next time.